grab a broomstick handle. We're going to talk about IT band. So your IT band goes down to your tibia, tubular head, and it's controlled by a muscle called the TFL. It stands for tensor fasciae lata, which sounds like a fancy Italian coffee, but most of it is just tendon, ligament. The big muscle underneath it often causes a lot of problems, which is the vastus lateralis, which mostly inserts into your kneecap there. So your knee has the problem that your spine has. It compensates for the hip having an issue, and this is the problem, right? This is the muscle that controls the IT band. This is where the problem's going to come from. Now, generally speaking, most people have a left hip external rotation problem. It's laterally rotated. So the IT band becomes pulled on, it's weaker, it's overstretched. That's where generally the pain is, right? Here. Doesn't mean you won't have it on the right. Lots of other patterns can arise because if your hip's not working right, either your knee or your spine is going to be twisting because of the hip. It's the main mover, right? Ball socket joint has lots of problems. So let's just run through the motion. This is for balance reasons. So if I just abduct that leg, so I want to keep my chest straight, don't let your body twist. Feel that out. Just abduct that thigh, see how it feels. For me, I feel resistance from the glute, tight piriformis. It's limiting that. If I add flexion to that, which is together, it's abduction, flexion, and internal rotation. That hip does not like to internally rotate. You can feel it stretching into the calf. So that's one big chain. Tight glute, tight outer quad, calf, which means what? Front line, shin, adductor, hip flexor are going to be weak. Test the other side for fun. Keep your torso stiff. Try not to cheat. A problem ultimately is always cheating. Right side, see how that feels. See if you have more range of motion. If there's more range of motion, it's probably stronger. And in general, we can just assume that the weaker side is going to be the more restricted side in those three motions, not in general, just in flexion, abduction, internal rotation. So this is kind of a correct all, because you'll be like, it hurts on the right, not the left. Okay, fine. Let's work everything here. Let's go into the left thigh. Now, an important muscle here is our shin muscles. Anterior tibialis, our major knee stabilizers. So me just lifting the toes and digging the balls of my foot into the floor, getting tall. And you might notice I have a reverse grip here. So the thigh is pressing forward, the hand's going back. But back to the shin, you want to feel that working. And I'm driving the heel into the floor. We don't want that knee tracking forward, which a lot of runners love to do. That knee lets go forward. So if I dig the ball of the foot in, dig the heel in, you'll see this happen. And the hip gets placed underneath, stacked underneath my torso, my shoulders, and my head. Good. So here I'm going to squeeze. This is a little pelvic realignment trick. So I'm squeezing the floor. You do this a lot in foundation training. This is your lunge decompression stance. You might notice the stick wants to go this way, angled. So I'm trying to get my torso straight, and the legs are resisting that, and it can be quite shaky and tiring. Where do I have this? There's the sit bone underneath it, so I'm in the hamstring right now, on the forward leg, the left leg, which might be your angry IT band side. If it hurts, don't push into this. Maybe back off a little bit, just get good. Maybe even take the stick away. Just work on squeezing right there. And when you want to add up, go here. This is our woodpecker in foundation training. Relaxing the back leg, I start spreading the floor. The front leg takes the weight. I'm still pushing. Don't let that knee track forward. Bad, good. See how the hip draws back? I'm looking over the edge of a cliff, spreading the floor between my feet. I'm going to take the left side of this stick, lift it up, and I'm dropping the right hip. Right side of the stick goes down, and I'm digging in there. That's digging into that hamstring. As I roll more, I start digging into the outer quad. And this is limiting that extra rotation of that hip. That knee loves to not only flex, but dump out to the side. So I got the shin working to help stabilize the knee. And I'm pressing the hip back, feeling the glute stretch. As I rotate, I feel that stretch down the outer thigh. Don't feel like IT band area. It's probably more stretching your vastus lateralis, your outer quad muscles, our target Shin is really burning. It's on fire. Adductors are working. Hip flexors working. Breathe, hold. You can start going in and out a few times. Give me 5 of these. Just burn it out for a second. Relax that back leg. 8% of your weight on that forward leg. Remember how it feels rotating into that side. How restricted is that? So we're going to hit the other side for comparison. So flip the reverse grip. And you might notice you feel a little hunched here. Good. So a lot of people, when they do this, they automatically go extension and you get really thin. That's not what I want. I want you bunched up on purpose where it feels, kick it up. When you're locked in flexion like this, your hip flexors will be happier. Get that shin muscle working again. Lift the toes, dig the balls of the big toe, little toe, and heel into the ground. I feel that shin light up like the 4th of July. Adductor, that whole front line chain is going to work with that. And I'm going to start squeezing first. We're scissoring the floor. And the stick, if I'm scissoring it, I start rotating without I even notice it. So keep the torso straight. Arms, torso resisting the squeeze of the legs. This might be harder than the other side. Good. I don't have that hand first. There we go. That feels better. I'm going to hinge, and it's nice too to have the palm forward on the right, on the side of the forward leg. I'm going to lift up on that side. We do that very last. First squeeze, spread the floor between the legs now. You're going to see this carpet wrinkling underneath me, this rug. Toes are still up. I'm lifting the shins, and I want the knee tracking forward. I want to work on bringing it back so I can feel the glute. Get as much out of that hinge as I possibly can. Then I lift up on the right side of the stick. For me, this immediately feels much easier. I have a lot more rotation, internal rotation, which probably tells me this IT band, this TFL, is stronger. I can get the hip to go in much farther. So I probably don't want to do too much of that right now because I want to even myself out. I can immediately say, okay, I either want to just work on straight hinging, so I can feel the hamstring here for sure is tighter. So it's not a left or right. One's worse than the other. It's going to be worse and restricted in certain ranges of motion. Just straight hip flexion here, I can feel is limited. I got a tight hamstring. The butt wants to tuck, so I'm lifting the butt up and back. Pull that back. So there's things we can work on both sides. That's the trick. Your IT band pain isn't just from one side. Work both. So review all that. Let me know where you're at. Leave me a comment. And take care. And do some of this. All those moves are from these guys. This is just my own little take on it with the stick to help people. You don't need the stick. Once you're good at it, you'll feel a lot without the stick.